Well, hello. Here to show you the Mighty Bugs cereal coloring right here. As you have it right here, as you got that picture so far as a bug, and it could be a beetle, or say night crawler or something like that, whatever you want to call it. And then you got right here is a bowl of cereal. It's like so far as a bowl with a spoon that represent a bowl of cereal. But what of course that what I have described right here is so far as a bowl of cereal, and basically is that, well, of course most of us would probably say that they would probably not like to eat a cereal contaminated, so it's based on bugs, and more likely a lot of kids would probably say that most of the time that it's like so far as a cereal such as honeycomb or honey nut Cheerios, or it could be Apple Jacks or whatever. You say if you're familiar with about 15 cereals, but whatever type of sugary type flavored cereals such as Frosted Mini Wheats or whatever is something that contaminates contains about 43 to 44 grams or so of sugar, maybe 35 grams of sugar. But so far with Mighty Bug, what I came up with right here is basically it's a cereal based on these different bugs, and of course with these bugs right here, that of course they don't crawl, but more like is they have like what you call offer the variety of choices so far as nutrients, nutrients so far as for your body. You got the nutrients, and then see here, highlight parts of the food pyramid right here. Let's just say that the different colors is like you got these, see, pink and then low, and the blue would represent like the different food the food say sections so far as the food pyramid goes. Is like one that could contain vitamin B, and then that one part of the bug cereal would contain a C, and then along with D, and then vitamin E, or maybe vitamin A. But a lot of times, I say, what is the difference between whatever vitamin? That more likely they could probably say that it helps so far as with the way the body goes. Is the way with the heart is that if you were to eat the cereal right here, is that you get the so far as is how the digestive system works. But of course, it's like that with kids, it's like that if they were to be of course be studying about maybe the human so far as the way the body works, is that between the liver and then the small intestine or whatever. But basically, whenever the food goes in, I'll go ahead and use the blue here. Whenever the food goes in, and whenever you eat the food goes down the stomach, and then it's digested and all that, and then goes to so far as building up, so far as the muscles goes, and so far as building up your muscles. I go ahead and draw like a little arm figure right here, so far as building up your muscles. But so far with Mighty Bug right here, I guess you could say that is basically about building up your muscles. Not really like you say is the porking beans, which a lot of people probably say that with porking beans or honey nut beans or whatever you call it is the way to go. That's my breakfast. But so far with Mighty Bug, that more likely that with Mighty Bug that you have many choices so far as whatever type of so far as this flavor is that if you want to maybe change the flavor, then more like that you could probably say that there's different so far as all together in one box, that if you were to add a certain amount of milk. If you were to add a certain amount of milk, to the cereal, I would probably say maybe about 3/4, so far as 3/4 of a cup of milk to a bowl of cereal, then more likely that you would have so far as a flavor, so far as just about maybe about one. See here, 1, 1/3 of a cup of cereal, and then along with 3/4 of a cup of milk, and then you would have the taste of so far as you'll say it could be cabbage, or it could be so far as cherries or blueberries, watermelon, whatever. But you have it right here. As so far as or it's like you could have maple berry or whatever you call it. But so far as with the spoon, it's like with the spoonful of sugar would make the medicine go down. But otherwise than that is that if you were to scoop up as so far as the amount of the cereal from a bug, is that along with that, and then along with with the serving. But otherwise than that is that you're not really like this so far as talking about ants in the pants or ants up the pant leg or whatever you call it. But basically, is so far with word of Mighty Bug, is so far as talking about is if you were to add milk to it, add milk to the cereal, that is stuff that makes you strong. It is the actual cereal that makes you strong. And to know, the fact is that one reasons why you say is that breakfast would be the most important meal of the day, will basically mean more like that gives you energy, that you feel more energized. A lot of people would probably say that they don't bother to eat breakfast, maybe because they don't have time or whatever, or they just don't want to eat. But then with Mighty Bug cereal, that more likely that with this type of cereal right here, it would probably more likely take less than 5 minutes to make. And those most important are is that more likely that you can eat it dry, so far as it with or without milk, and more likely they could probably say that with or without milk, and then it still contains say so far as what the amount of sugar is 28 grams of sugar. So far with Mighty Bug, it's like with Mighty Bug cereal, and along with the coloring, and then so far as the bugs and crunch. But so far with Mighty Bug cereal and Mighty Bug cereal coloring.